I want to say something that I've been thinking for a while now. Our generation, the people watching this video, all the baby boomers, we didn't just watch the technology industry get built. We were in it. We were the customers who bought the first PCs, the workers who learned new systems on the fly every 5 years, the taxpayers who funded the infrastructure, the parents who taught ourselves email so we could stay connected to our kids. We built this thing, the whole digital economy. We built the demand for it, funded the growth of it, and adapted to every single version of it. I remember my first PC. It was a long time ago. It was shortly after my wife and I got married, way back in 1978. It was a Texas Instrument 994A. The only thing we did really on it, we played games. That was how young we were. And then once I started my business out back in '89, we had to buy a computer. It was mainly used as a word processor. But then things evolved on. And now, I use a computer for a lot of things. I use computers to draw my programs. I use it to do my proposals. I use it to do my social content. I do a lot of different things. There's a lot of things I've been able to do now because of the computer and what it's become. It's not that we can't learn to do it. It's just that we hold ourselves back in saying that we can't do it. So I'm here to help you. Let me help you along the way. Let's talk about it a little bit in this video. And here's what bothers me the most, really. We did all of that, and somehow, when it came time for the internet to pay us back, the conversation was aimed at 25-year-olds. So that's why I started doing this, because all this stuff, all this generation and everything you see on is somebody that's 40 years old or younger. I mean, I don't see very many people over 40 years old doing this. So I want to change that. Not anymore. That's what this channel is about. It's about people like you and I. That's exactly what this video is about today. So take a look at it, and I'll talk to you on the other side.
Think about what this generation has lived through, technologically speaking. We learned to type on typewriters and then watch them disappear overnight. We mastered filing systems, fax machines, and landlines, and then had to relearn everything when email showed up. We were the first generation to have a computer at work, the first to get a cell phone, the first to figure out online banking, online shopping, online everything without anyone showing us how. No tutorials, no YouTube, no one to call. Just figure it out because the job required it, the family needed it, and falling behind wasn't an option. And now look at what we built. A global economy that runs entirely online. Trillion-dollar companies built on the attention and the spending of the exact demographic sitting in front of this video right now. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netflix, YouTube. We weren't bystanders. We were the market. We were the reason those companies exist at the scale they do. So here's my question. Why are we still acting like the internet is something that happened to us instead of something we helped build? Let me put some real numbers on what this generation contributed to the digital economy, because I think most people have never actually seen it laid out. Baby boomers represent $2.6 trillion in annual consumer spending in the U.S. They control approximately 70% of all disposable income in America, and they own more than half of all U.S. financial assets. The internet was built on boomer spending. First mass adopters of home PCs in the 80s and 90s, first large-scale online shoppers. Amazon's early growth was boomer-driven. First generation to pay for cable, then satellite, then streaming. They funded the broadband infrastructure build-out through decades of subscription fees. Today, adults 50 and over account for 51% of all consumer spending online. Yet less than 10% of YouTube creators actively target this demographic. The most valuable audience on the internet is the least served. That is the opportunity. We didn't just consume the digital economy, We financed it. Every subscription, every device, every online purchase for 40 years went toward building the infrastructure that now makes it possible for anyone to publish to the world for free. The platform we're using right now, YouTube, has paid out over $70 billion to creators since 2021 alone. $70 billion in 3 years. And the audience that advertisers pay the most to reach on that platform. Adults over 50. The CPM rates in personal finance, health, and retirement are among the highest on the platform because the people watching those videos have money. And advertisers know it. We are the most valuable audience on the internet. We are also the most underserved creators on the internet. That gap is the opportunity. For most of the last decade, there was a real barrier between our generation and the creator economy. Video editing required software that took months to learn. Building an audience required knowing SEO strategy, algorithm behavior, thumbnail design, a whole stack of skills that nobody in our generation was trained for. And honestly, most of us had better things to do than spend 2 years learning a new trade just to post videos on the internet. Then AI arrived. Not in a science fiction way, in a practical Tuesday morning, sit down and use it way, and it removed the barrier almost overnight. Scripts AI can now help you structure and write a compelling video script in the time it used to take to outline one. You bring the knowledge and the story. AI helps you shape it. Voiceover tools like 11 Labs let you clone your own voice from a short recording session. Once trained, that voice reads any script you feed it. Your words, your voice, without you sitting down to record every single time. Visual stock footage libraries like Storyblocks give you access to thousands of professional clips for a flat monthly fee. No camera crew, no production budget. Just search, download, and use. SEO and titles, AI tools can analyze what your audience is already searching for and help you title and describe your videos so the right people find them. Thumbnails, AI design tools can generate and test options that stop the scroll without a graphic design background. In other words, every single piece of the technical wall that used to keep people like us out of this space, there's a tool for it now. What those tools can't do and will never be able to do is replace 50 years of real lived experience. That part, that's still ours. Here's what I want you to sit with for a moment. Whatever you did for the last 30 or 40 years, there are people out there right now searching for that knowledge. Not a sanitized textbook version of it, not a 25-year-old summarizing what they read about. It's your version, the version that includes the mistakes, the shortcuts, the hard-won judgment calls that only come from having done the thing for decades. I'm a contractor, 35 years. I know things about building a home, running a crew, managing a project, and spotting a bad deal from 100 yards away that you simply cannot get from a classroom or a YouTube scroll. But for most of my career, that knowledge lived in my head. It was useful on job sites. It was useful when my kids called me with a problem, and then it kind of just stayed there. What AI and the creator economy made possible for the first time in my lifetime is a way to take everything you know and make it permanently available. A video you record today about what you learned raising teenagers, or managing money through a recession, or navigating a health scare, or building something with your hands, that video can be found by someone who needs it 5 years from now. That's not just income. That's impact that outlasts you. What did you spend your career doing? What did you learn the hard way that you wish someone had told you at 30? What do your kids call you about? What do your grandkids ask you? What could you talk about for 3 hours without notes? Whatever that thing is, there is an audience searching for it on YouTube right now. Not someday, right now. I want to make the case for timing because I hear a version of the same objection from almost everyone our age when this conversation comes up. Isn't it too late? Isn't YouTube already saturated? Didn't the early people already win? Here's the honest answer. YouTube has 2.7 billion logged in users per month. 500 hours of video are uploaded every single minute. and yet the retirement and over 50 content niches dramatically underpopulated relative to audience demand. Search retirement income ideas on YouTube right now. Most results are from financial institutions or generic finance channels run by people who have never retired. Almost none are from people who are retired or nearly retired, speaking from lived experience to people exactly like them. That is the gap. And it's wide open. The audience is massive. The authentic voices are scarce. Early in a niche doesn't mean early in YouTube. It means early in the right conversation. The best time to start a YouTube channel was 5 years ago. The second best time is now. And before you tell me you're too old to start something new, I want to remind you of something you have already started over multiple times. New job, new city, new technology, new family configuration, new economy. You have figured out every single version of the world that got thrown at you, and you're still here. Starting a YouTube channel is not the hardest thing you have ever done. It's not even close. Quick disclosure, some links in the description are affiliate links. If you click and make a purchase, I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. I only recommend things I've personally looked at and believe in. If this video landed with you, if you felt something when I talked about what our generation built and what we're owed, the next step is finding the roadmap. The training I used to build exactly what I'm describing is Matt Parr's Tube Mastery and Monetization. Matt is young, and he figured out early what took most people decades to learn, if they ever learned it at all. How to build a YouTube channel that generates real ongoing income without a camera, without a tech degree, without starting over from scratch every time the algorithm changes. I went through it myself before I pointed anyone else toward it. That's how I work. I don't recommend things I haven't tested. The link is in the description. If the timing feels right to you, take a look. And if you want to see the full picture of the income model I'm building right now, the pillar video is linked there too. Start with that if you haven't already. Credibility for what you know, not what you look like.
So what do you think, guys? We built this thing, the whole digital world, when you really come down to it. We don't need permission to profit from it. The tools are finally there. The audience is there. The only thing left is the decision. You can hold on to whatever fear you might have of being on the camera, or you can hold on to any fear that you have about making a channel or creating something. But in honesty, we created a lot of things in our lives. We created jobs, we created kids, we created a life. That's hard enough in itself. So don't let anything stop you like that. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling and keep going and learn how to do something new. Something that you can do once and it'll keep on profiting for the rest of your life if you play it right. I'm not going to tell you this is easy. Nothing worth building ever is. But I am going to tell you that the generation that figured out fax machines, email, cell phones, and a dozen other technologies they never asked for can absolutely figure out a YouTube channel. It's not that hard. If you like what I've shown you today, please subscribe, comment. I like looking at the comments. I like learning about what people are doing and what people are saying and what they need. So if I could do something, let me know. There's a link in this description to give you that goes to a pillar video that shows you the overall picture of how I'm doing this and why I started doing it, and see it for yourself. Until the next video comes out, I hope you guys are doing great, and take care.